I'm Porter William, and I've been entertaining, event planning, and cooking for over 25 years. Finally, I get to share my secrets with you. No matter if you have a one-room apartment or a grand scale estate, we'll learn how to entertain from San Francisco to the beaches of Spain, from menu planning to tablescapes. I'll teach you how to entertain from the heart. From a memory, make a memory. Join me as we entertain the world one table at a time, next on Entertaining People. It's Porter William again with Entertaining People, and today we are in my hometown of San Francisco, and we are actually entertaining out, but we're going to do it in the coolest, hippest way. We're at this great new club called Swirl. It's one of the best wine bars on the entire West Coast. My good friend, well, it's his birthday, and instead of the typical lunch or the typical dinner, I'm actually having a wine tasting just in his honor. We're bringing in our own food, our own cheese, and they're gonna help us pick out the absolute best wines. I promise you that when we're done with this episode, you will absolutely not be intimidated, you will have fun with wine, and it will be accessible, and you'll use it every single time you entertain. So come on in, follow me. I promised you a surprise. Look at all this wine. Red, white, pink, bubbling. They have everything here at Swirl. And we are gonna pick out some of the funnest, newest, most innovative wines that are out there and available right where you live. But the first thing I have to do, since we're actually taking in instead of taking out, is I've got to unpack my grocery bag full of great cheeses and great things to munch while we're tasting wine. I'm back at the tasting bar here at Swirl on Castro in San Francisco, and I'm getting ready to unpack my take-in, take-out. I get so confused, but the point of it is that you can actually bring food in to most tasting clubs. So make sure you call ahead and ask them. But what I wanted to do is come up with something that was going to be a perfect pair for the wine, and I've tested something that they don't even know about. Swirl sells this great wine wheel, and I took it down to my favorite cheese person. Her name's Viv. She's from Denmark, and I tested her. So I use this little wheel, and it's as simple as this. I actually can move to, let's say, Bordeaux, all right? And I can read right down here, Saint-Emilion, Sauvignon Blanc. It gives me some menu directions, such as salmon, horseradish, lobster, oyster, scallops, and then it tells me right there what kind of cheese to pair with it, a dry goat cheese. So without anybody knowing, I took this handy dandy little wheel to put it to the test, and guess what? It worked. It was 100% on with every single cheese that Viv chose. So it's $5.95 here at Swirl and available at entertainingpeople.com. The first thing that she set me up with was this fantastic Point Reyes Blue. Now we're drinking red, great blue cheese. It's from Northern California. The next one is a Spanish Manchego, and this is harder. It feels more like a Parmesan, and let me tell you, this is soft and beautiful once you get it inside, creamy and easy to eat. And then a Pecorino from Italy. Lovely, 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 lovely. I've just had a great piece. Look at that gorgeous rind. You want to just set that on your tray. It's so simple. Anybody can do this. And one of my favorite tips, whether I'm presenting a tray at home or out, is I line everything up in the order that I think we're going to eat it and drink it, and it helps me remember what everything is. So these are going to be for our reds, and then look what I found for our whites. This is a California chèvre, a goat cheese with edible flowers that are on it. I think that is going to be amazing. I'm going to set that one over there, and then I have this beautiful, beautiful French, also a goat cheese that's herbed. Beautiful on both sides. We're gonna set that right there. And then my last one is gonna be a San Andre, which is a much stronger cheese, really, really tasty. And this is a good one to talk to you about. Do you eat the rind or don't you eat the rind? And in fact, yes, you actually do eat the rind. If you go to France and leave the rind on the table, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. But some people, you have to develop a palate. But the truth of it is with the wine, it's gonna be a great balance. And then all the easy stuff comes next. First of all, we're gonna grab some great crackers. These are rosemary scented crackers. That'll be fun to eat with. I also have some wonderful pepper crackers, also great to eat with. We'll set those there. A little bit different flavor depending on the wine, depending on the cheese. And then what most people do not realize is that almonds are absolutely beautiful with wine. In fact, most nuts, and these are gorgeous almonds that have been roasted in sea salt. So I've got my scissors handy. If you're gonna go on a picnic, and we really are picnicking here, make sure you bring all the supplies. And I'm just simply going to spread those beautiful almonds all over my tray so Herb and his friend Jim can enjoy it. And let's see, one of the last things is a honey roasted and toasted pecan. Since we've got these great red wines, I had Tim, the king of produce here in the Bay Area, pick me out a beautiful, beautiful pack of grapes. Nice, beautiful bunch. And the last thing I think is just an overtone flavor, some fresh herbs and rosemary, which will set right back there. So between our crackers, our thin breads, our creamy blue cheeses, our crispy manchegos, our pecorinos, our San Andre, and all of our chèvre with our nuts and our grapes, I'm all ready. The only thing now I need is the wine, and for that, I'm gonna get some help. So let's go pick out the wine. William, and this is entertaining people, and it's cheese please here at Swirl. I love how you can bring things in here to eat. And if you've never entertained with cheese, I want to suggest that to you. Make it an entree. Why not have just a cheese party? I always remember these crazy stories about cheese, and I think as adults we finally got a little bit more sophisticated. We learned about the blues and the blondes and all these different flavors. But for me, honestly, it was all about cheese in the can. My brother and I used to get in so much trouble. We would go into my grandmother's cupboard, we'd take all the cans of cheese, we'd fill our mouths till we couldn't even move, then we'd put them back empty. And I'm telling you, she would chase us down that hallway and we would get it so bad. And then I remember my parents having their wine and cheese parties of the 70s where they had that pink striped cheese in the little crock. Do you remember that? That was hysterical. Wine and cheese has come a long way. And whether you're familiar with the great cheeses of America like the Wisconsin cheddars and those wonderful Colbys, or from the West Coast like we are today with the great jacks, the pepper jacks and the flavors from Mexico which have worked their way into our cuisine, the fact of it is the rule stays the same. Go a little bit on the edge, eat what you like, try something new, and ask for help. So you've seen the cheese platter come together. In just a second, we're gonna pull it all together. Wine, cheese, friends, and a lot of fun. I'll be right back. Now is when the fun begins. We have the cheese, we have the wine, we've got Jerry back, and most of all, the guest of honor, my good friend Herb has finally taken his seat at the tasting bar, and you are so hard to buy for. This year I was gonna buy you wine, and you know how I boycotted all the birthday dinners because no matter where you go, you buy the most expensive bottle of wine on the menu, bar none. And I'm always like, this is the $4.99 that you can have. So listen, I wanna introduce you to Jerry Cooper. He's the owner of Swirl. I know you guys live right up the street.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to hang out here for your birthday flight and fasten your seatbelts because Jerry is going to tell us about the flight of your life, and it's all about red. What's our first pick, Jerry?
Well, first of all, a flight is 3 pours, 2 ounces, tasted side by side. So you can kind of you build and you contrast, so you can kind of see the differences and the similarities in the flight.
Okay.
We're going around the world. We're starting in Chile, we're going to California, and we're ending up in Argentina.
Which I know are all great places in your heart with your Latin roots. But I want to have some fun with this. So Jerry, I'm going to reach across, and Jerry's going to help us pour. This is the 2 brothers that Jerry selected for us, and this is a 50% what?
50% Syrah, 50% Cabernet.
Now, here's proof, right? We're in this absolutely hip place called Swirl, and it's got a twist-off top. So the world of wine has changed, and I promised you this was going to be absolutely accessible for you. So tell us just really quickly about the different tops, and I'm going to just top off Herb's first part of his flight and over at Jim. So tell us about the tops.
It's called a stealth enclosure, and do not be afraid. Okay. So many wine corks have some problems with various chemical reactions to bleach, and so over the course of time, a lot of winemakers have decided to opt for different closures.
Just because it has a screw top, like in your high school days, when your daddy found these in the back seat when you were in the car, it's okay to have a screw top wine now. The first one we're gonna try is the 2 Brothers Big Tattoo Red. And let's have a taste of this. All right, Jerry.
Oh,
great. Swirl.
Now, swirl. Always swirling at Swirl, everyone.
Salud.
Salute.
And
Happy
salute.
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to the first of our flight. Let's try this. Wow, so for me, that's really middle of the road. Anybody can drink it. What I love about this is it $9.95?
$9.
$9, all right? See, it can be done.
And it's
Tell me it can be done.
It can be done. It can
okay?
be done, you're right.
And then let's just do a quick little pairing here. I'm gonna go for this first one with this beautiful point raised blue and give that a little bite and see what you think.
Let's go for
And
it.
see how that goes with the wine. And Jim, who's always the cheese man at all the dinner parties, right? How is that? Good? I have to try one more of those. Listen, if you don't like red, drink this. If you like red, you're gonna love it more. This is easy. Buy this for your friends. Buy this when you entertain. It's very, very simple. Hey Mambo, hey Mambo. I'm having so much fun with this wine. That's why I love Swirl. Always great new things. So Jerry, we've screwed off a cork. What are we gonna do here? I'm afraid to try it.
We're gonna open a Zork. Zork is one of the new closures in California and Australia. And we're gonna you simply pull the pink red tab, roll around, and then open.
It's always easier when you don't plan it, but the point of it is that it's a really great top. You see that? Just a little bit of effort? No, not at all. It happens all the time, right?
Yes, it does.
That's good. So look at that. You've got the cork popped right in there, and it's a Zork. More fun things to say when you're entertaining. If you want to entertain with this, because you can already talk about the goofy little cork on there. So we're going to now taste this, and they're already set up right for their second flight. So I'm just going to top that off for her. And am I doing this correctly?
Absolutely.
Is there a secret on how you do it?
A little twist as you pull
a
it.
Little twist. Oh, a little show off. Oh, but then I got to do the good stuff, which I'm always into, and one for you, and a little for me. That's good. And you know, the great thing about Swirl is even if you're having a couple friends and on your own, there's always great folks around, and it's kind of fun when everybody crashes each other's party here. So okay, we're Hey Mambo.
Hey Mambo.
Right? Let me put it back where you can all see it. And
it's a California blend. It's Malbec, Barbera, Zinfandel, Syrah.
That is fantastic. Now, what I paired with this was our Spanish Manchego. What's your mind?
That's a good cheese.
That's good.
Olay all the way.
That's Olay all the way. All right, so let's go to the, call it what you want. It's a spittoon, it's a dumper, it's a
wine dump bucket.
It's a wine dump bucket. That's really the truth. No, you can spit in it if you go to a fancy competition, but here, because we're gonna be absolutely nutty if we go through all this with you here, our audience today, we're gonna dump these just like that. That's all you do. And when you taste, you often can just reuse the same wine. The same glass, pardon me. By the way, I want to point out really quickly that Jerry is offering his flights in these fantastic stemless glasses. I know you probably haven't seen these before, but this is really common, and it's really a great way to drink wine. So nowadays, we're breaking all the rules when it comes to wine. So let's move on to our triple threat red to keep our birthday boy happy. What is our next wine?
We're going to Argentina, as promised. We have Feliz Malbec. It's the Feliz Reserve.
And you and I are always talking Malbec. Now you are, right? Well, and I thought I had you beat. I thought I had you beat, but you were already onto this. So right when we come back, we're gonna taste the Malbec. We'll be right back. Back with my new pal Malbec, and this is the hottest wine. Everybody is talking about Malbec. When we picked them out, we mentioned it briefly, but I don't think people know that really this is hot, hot, hot right now. Find a Malbec. They're on their menus. If they're not on your menus, ask your restaurateur, ask your purveyor to get you some great Malbecs. Great wines, wonderful prices, and this is the Feliz like we talked about. Here, now I'm happy. A cork. Finally, something that I'm used to here, okay? I thought I was hip, boy, I tell you. All right, so, well, I tell you what, let's top the birthday boy off, right? Stay consistent. Here's number one here. What do you think?
It's a beautiful label, it's a beautiful packet.
This is, when you want to kick it up just one notch, go ahead and go for the Feliz, or a wine of this level. This is really nice. So 3 different wines, 3 different purposes, right? We're going from 9 to 20?
1650.
9 to 1650 on the top, all right? Okay. So when you're gonna go to a party, when you're gonna treat somebody, go ahead and really introduce, I want you to introduce them to a new experience. That's what we're all about, right? You're gonna make a memory with this wine. That's what we do here at Entertaining People. So you pick a wine, you give it to a guest, keep a bottle for yourself, and 1 extra for them to keep back to have the memory. And in the future, you can drink it again. So I think our first flight has been great.
How'd we do?
We'll get to the cheeses. Wonderful. What do you think? I mean, because you're killing
memorable.
us.
This is absolutely memorable with all the wines that you've got chosen here. Phenomenal.
Well, when we come back, I had to get my nose in the business. You know how it is.
Oh, of course.
And I've picked a light flight because I will get you to say that there is some other color than red when it comes to wine by the end of your birthday, okay? So I'm Porter William. This is Entertaining People. We're at Swirl, and we'll be right back. We are absolutely swirling at this point here on Entertaining People. There's no question about it. And I'll get off my soapbox on the rosés. But Jerry, thanks again for, yes, a new rosé, believe it or not. Don't look so skeptical. You will drink wine that's not red. I'm convinced. I know Jim loves other wines as well, so we've got to give it a try.
Okay.
So Jerry picked out this fantastic South African rosé, which I think is going to be great. Why don't you go ahead and pour him what we've got?
It's Mulderbosch. It's from Stellenbosch, South Africa. Not all great rosés are from France. They come from all over the world. I'm going to give you a little try of this. See what
But we're not prejudiced.
Yes.
Let me give it, and we'll start with Jim. Great. So remember that a pour on a flight is 2 ounces, which is right about there.
Right about there. That might be about 2.5, but it's a birthday celebration.
Yeah, you noticed on this
like
flight
4.
that we're actually using the stemware instead of the stemless, and that's probably, well, not probably, because these are just almost prettier to look at. They've got this beautiful, beautiful tones of pink, and we've got some light things coming as well. Look at that. Don't ever let me lose that. That's exactly what you should be seeing in your home or when you go out to taste wine. So let's try a South African rosé.
So 100% Cabernet Rosé.
That is really lovely, really lovely. Of course, we get a whole different experience with the different glass. This is where we're gonna move to the goat cheeses. And of course, this beautiful one right here, I don't know if you can see that. We've added a couple strawberries. This is the time of year, if you find a strawberry, eat it. They're absolutely the best. So this lovely goat cheese is a California goat. It's got beautiful edible flower petals on it, which is great. Look how easy that is to put in your bag. Then we're gonna go to our herb goat cheese, which I think is gonna be dynamite and a real treat. These are beautiful champagne grapes. Now you know why this stuff is so expensive. These are gorgeous and they're fun to eat, and I know you guys always like those. So let's move on to our Viognier.
Right.
And this is Californian again?
California. It's from Paso Robles. It's Robert Hall, and it's their 06 Viognier. So Viognier is a grape. Do not be afraid. It's an off dry white, no oak, all stainless steel.
See, okay. Did you see how simple that was? And just a quick breath, Jerry made everything make sense for you. And that's exactly what you should require of your wine purveyor. They're there to educate you, they're there to entertain you, and to inform you. And we're dumping and hopefully pouring. It's never perfect, don't make it that way, wonderful. And if you don't have a place to do this in a local establishment like Swirl here, then do it in your own home. You could have a wine tasting at your kitchen counter. I can't wait to try this.
Nice and crisp.
That is really, really...
Peaches, white flowers, melons.
You know, after tasting these reds, did you plan it this way?
I did.
Honestly, after tasting these reds and the heavier cheeses, this is really nice and light and bright. You can do this in the middle of the afternoon, early in the evening, even in a brunch situation. Any tasting bar is really this way. You can come in and meet friends, meet people. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter how much money you want to spend. That's the sound of a celebration. So we have our beautiful Del Pierre Cava from Spain, and a great, great choice, always bubbly in here. I'm just gonna change this out because you need fantastic grapes over your grapes and everything, and that's for the birthday boy.
It's over the top.
And how about that, over the top?
Literally.
And I love this, look at that go. You could never, come on you guys, it was in the bag anyways. Use some imagination. I'm the only guy without the glass, but that's what's so great. We just make it up as we go and we have a whole lot of fun. So you've got to blow out your can, and happy birthday to the birthday boy. But I hope you've tasted some new wines. You realize that you don't have to break the bank, right, to have a great, great wine.
I'm re-educated.
And you're host.
Cheers.
Yes. And to Classic Wines of California, who did this, to great champagne grapes, which can be a whole lot of fun. I'm Porter William. Check in at entertainingpeople.com, where you can find out all about these great events here at Swirl, how to drink wine, pair cheeses, and most of all, have fun. So we are entertaining the world one table at a time. I'll see you next time. Cheers.